All right, we back with another Matty Balls video. Matthew Balls. We're back, my brother. 3 hours ago. You're listening to AI music and you don't even know it. So let's go down the treacherous rabbit hole of AI music, man. Here we go.
Lately, there has been panic across the music industry because AI music has quietly been taking over. Even Paul McCartney just put out a song that doesn't actually have any music and for the most part is silent, as a way to protest against companies using AI to steal music. Most recently, an AI song has taken over Billboard's Country Digital Song Sales chart, a song called Walk My Walk by Breaking Rust. Not only that, but 2 songs by this artist have made it to the top of Spotify's Viral 50 songs.
Whiskey Don't Talk Back.
This comes shortly after the AI artist Zanaya Monet became the first AI artist to have songs hit the Billboard charts and was signed to a $3 million record deal.
That's so
Part
pathetic.
of this song's virality is because
That's so pathetic. Oh my goodness, bro. This is why cheaters win. In the beginning, this is why they win, because they can have somebody on their team, quote unquote, who's not legally or physically on paper on their team, but they're still on their team. It's like a hitman who's working for the government, but he's not really for the government, right? Nobody knows. He still lives his life, quote unquote, regularly, but he's working for the people, and he's doing kill for hire jobs, hire to kill jobs. So he's not part of the team, but he's part of the team. So somebody who's on Spotify's team, but not legally on the team, is making an AI profile, an AI persona. What did I used to say on stream all the time? I used to say, y'all, we need to morph some of y'all into rappers, bro. Obviously, I was joking, but I said that shit years ago, before I even knew about AI. Because guess what? You could roll them out like rolls at Texas Roll House, bro. You could just roll them out. New rapper here, $1 million deal here. You don't know who it's going to. It could be Zay MCM LLC whole time. Not somebody like, somebody else. Like my next door neighbor made the account for Zay MCM LLC. And now that persona from AI is now a multi-million-dollar. This shit is. Boy. And I may sound crazy for this, but shit like that excites me. Shit like this excites me. How all of this shit is being so spiked up, and I'm not saying I like it, but it excites me because someone like me, someone like you, I know that we're moving in the right direction. JB, how the fuck could you be so sure? If I explain it to you, then it takes away the surety.
because it was being played on multiple radio
Then
stations
what up, my
throughout
boy?
the United States, which is just one of the reasons you may already be listening to AI music without even realizing it. There are actually a handful of AI artists that have been popping up on Billboard's charts, but
Well, I'll do you one better. Check this one out. So, of course, we know ghostwriters, right? But there are teams. This is why you can always get a job. You can always get hired from doing what you do, right? It may not be on the $1 million scale, but you can always get hired. There's always a fitting for you at any level. There are corporations, there are companies, there are record labels, there are studios that have writers, singers, and songwriters, okay, on standby 24/7, 24 hours out the day, a group of them. And when they have a big rapper coming to town, or a big rapper that's wants to come out with a new project, or has to come out with a project from his record label or her record label, they bring these people in and they literally write the song, do everything, dance moves, they do everything for the artist, the rapper. And then the rapper goes on a press conference, the rapper goes on these podcasts, these interviews, and talks like he or she made the whole song from scratch and It's a scripted story, y'all. It is a scripted fucking story. Now, this shit been going on since the beginning of time. But, I mean...
But Zanaya Monáe in particular is probably the most viral of this recent AI artist trend. Zanaya Monáe, like I said, was able to sign a $3 million deal and has a whole team behind her. She's been going...
It's like NFTs. This shit exactly like NFTs. Nobody knows who's behind these NFT accounts, these NFT creations. But guess what? They just made $500,000 in an hour, 2 hours, over this one little coin, this one little picture, this one little image.
Going so viral that they even interviewed the main lady who created Zanaya, and it was pretty interesting.
I wanted to reveal myself because I wanted people to know there was a real person behind Zanaya, that there's real emotion and soul put into the...
See, this is why you got to watch what you believe, because she's smart. But did she even come up with the idea behind this shit? That's when it gets treachery. That's when it gets a little disgusting. Now she is on CBS with this lady, and she could have a whole memorized script in her brain. Let me see her eyes.
Those lyrics.
Were you surprised by the reaction?
Yeah, I was totally
Really?
surprised, and then a lot of people started reaching out, and
But Nikki, they thought Zanaya was a real person.
Zanaya is an extension of me, so I look at her as a real person.
But you can't sing.
Ah! But you can't sing, girl. The fuck?
She says that all of her lyrics are her true emotions, but who knows how true that is. And some of these songs are pretty ridiculous. Like, she has one called Miscarriage Blues.
This shit got 36,000 dislikes. And just so y'all know, dislikes and likes in the algorithm is the same thing. So to anybody that's like, oh, this got this many dislikes, it's still getting pushed. I mean, by bots or by real people, it's still getting pushed as a like, as somebody clicking and interacting with your video. So what the fuck it matter?
Which is just so crazy to me. And the lady behind Zanaya was also talking about putting in a ton of work, which is also crazy to me. Because in the last 4 months, she's put out 31 songs and 2 albums, which is not...
Wait, excuse me, the last month she came out with 31 songs? In November, there's not even 31 days in the month.
Oh my God!
Boy.
nothing like the output a real artist could have. And it's all posted in such a sloppy and spammy way, with half the titles having poor grammar or typos. It is definitely the laziest, most bare minimum way to have a successful music career, but it's still working.
Don't treat me like a plane you ain't sure about. Don't keep me on a bench just to run your route. So little and still got less.
Oh my days.
Don't want your money, just your respect.
Hey.
And look at this nigga. Clearly, look at this shit. He either got paid to make this reaction. Man.
Didn't need diamonds, just
Serious talent, you know.
Now, I'm assuming these people in particular were paid to post this, but there are clearly people listening to this for real if it's able to chart. And like I said, she got a $3 million deal, so clearly it's working out for her. In a similar way, the AI country artist Breaking Rust has been blowing up for charting as well as going viral on Spotify. It's another crappy AI band with bland, boring music, which is reminiscent of when the Velvet Sundown went viral earlier this year. It ironically has lyrics like, "You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk." Pretty funny coming from an AI. Regardless, after it hit #1 in the country digital song sales chart, it caused a huge storm online, with tons of people freaking out about how AI artists are reaching the charts. And an interesting trend is the type of charts that these AI artists are residing on. One AI artist debuted at number 14 on the Christian digital song sales charts. Another one debuted at 47 on the emerging artist chart and number 10 on the rock digital song sales chart. This one debuted at number 44 on the emerging artist chart and number 15 on the rock digital song sales chart. chart. Another Christian AI artist debuted at number 44 on the emerging artist chart. And then of course there's the ones I already mentioned. What's interesting is a lot of these artists are on the digital song sales charts and in genres like Christian or country music. So it's safe to assume that it's older people falling for this, because no one buys music online anymore, so I'm gonna guess that it's old farts that are easily tricked. Now, the main theory out there is that a lot of these artists have botted streams to boost their popularity and get their numbers up on the charts. This way, people begin to report more on the takeover of AI in the news and online, artificially boosting the popularity of these artists. And botting streams isn't all that hard, as you know if you saw my video on how botting streams works. I wouldn't be surprised if this were true and that these AI artists are not as big as they're making themselves out to be. But there are also other sneaky ways in which AI music could be working its way into your life. When I say that you might be listening to AI music, I'm gonna assume that you watching are a normal person. I'm assuming that the majority of you aren't like this guy who has intentionally listened to hours of AI generated Juice WRLD songs, when ironically Juice WRLD has thousands of actual songs and leaks that you can listen to that probably sound way better. But like I said, apart from the obviously AI songs that are targeting mostly dumb people or old people, there might be some more low-key ways that AI is creeping into your life. According to a study published by the streaming service Deezer, they estimated that 50,000 AI generated songs are uploaded to the platform every day, which is about 34% of all the music published. According to Ed Newton Rex, an artist that's making sure that other musicians are paid if their music is used to train AI, he said, "It's part of the very rapid trend of AI music gaining popularity, essentially because it's spreading in volume. What you have here is 50,000 tracks a day that are competing with human musicians. You have a new, hyper-scalable competitor, and moreover, this competitor that was built by exploitation. There are already blogs and gurus telling people how to generate tons of songs with Suno. Go to a distributor like DistroKid and spam your AI slop on every platform so you can generate passive income." It's similar to the Twitter gurus that are telling people to make AI YouTube channels or AI short form content
Automated,
and
yeah.
just spam post slop and make a ton of money. It's like a get rich quick scheme. If you thought the people who spam posted TikTok clips of streamers were bad,
Day in the life of a TikTok clipper making $20,000 a month.
or even people posting AI brain rot on short form media, this is just like one step worse in my opinion, because it's fully AI generated garbage in a place that's supposed to be real. Regardless, now that people have seen this as a potential way to make a passive income and potentially even sign a multi-million-dollar record deal, AI music has been blowing up. And thanks to all of this volume, it could be in your playlist without you knowing. Oh, but I'm smart enough to know the difference between AI music and real music, so there's no way that I'm listening to it. Well, studies say that you aren't. A study conducted by Deezer and Ipsos claimed that 97% of people they surveyed couldn't tell that a song was fully generated by AI instead of a human. They polled 9,000 people across 8 different countries, so it was a fairly wide poll, and 52% of those people said they were uncomfortable that they couldn't tell the difference, and 66% of them said that they would give listening to AI music a try. Now, I'll be honest, as someone who listens to music a lot, pretty much 24/7, it can be hard sometimes to tell whether or not something is real or AI generated. Sure, maybe the songs that are entirely made by AI are somewhat easy to catch, but what about AI vocals or an AI instrumental? It can be tough to spot. I mean, people are still debating whether or not Cardi used AI vocals on his album Music, and honestly, I have no clue. I saw this Reddit post from someone who was listening to some jazz music while cooking and enjoyed it in the background. They went on to say that the song sounded slightly off, and when they tried to find them, they couldn't. Eventually, they realized that it was an AI YouTube playlist full of AI jazz music and had no clue. Especially if you aren't paying attention, AI music can be tough to catch. I like to listen to a lot of jungle/D&B mixes on YouTube while I'm working at my desk, and I feel like if those had some AI songs slipped in, I probably wouldn't catch it. Here,
Jungle? Wait, you about to play?
let's try to see if you guys can guess which song is AI, song A or song B.
All right, hold on. Let me see. I never heard of that. Jungle DMB. DMB mix. Oh shit, what is this about? What the fuck? No, that nigga Matthew freaky. That nigga Matthew freaky, y'all. Jungle and D&B. What does that mean? D&B. Dave and Buster? Like some Dave and Buster ass playlist? What the fuck? Yo, I ain't judging, but shout out. All right, what's AI?
Well, it was a trick question. They were both AI songs that I actually generated using Suno, the same program that Timbaland uses for his extremely controversial AI artist Tata. And before you run to the comments saying
shit,
you guessed
Timbaland got
both of them
one.
were AI, I don't care. I was just trying to make a point. Really, the only thing that makes those songs sound like AI to me is the mixes always feel a bit rougher and dirtier on AI tracks, but your average music listener is not paying attention to the mix. So we have established that AI music can be hard to spot, especially if it's good enough or if you're not paying enough attention. And that due to sheer volume, it is inevitably going to be everywhere. So how would you be listening to it? Well, like I said, there's a good chance you've caught it in a playlist, especially if you use Spotify. In my Spotify video I recently did, I mentioned something that they have called ghost artists. To put it simply, Spotify doesn't pay artists directly per stream. Instead, they take the total pool of revenue generated, they take their cut, then distribute the rest back to artists based on their streaming percentage. But this caused a problem for Spotify as they began to pay large sums to record labels. A lot of the streams on Spotify came from their curated playlists that has playlists such as chill tracks. Most people are going to be listening to playlists like these in the background, not even paying attention, which led Spotify to wonder, why pay the labels all this money for music people are hardly paying attention to? So they decided to do something about it by creating ghost artists. They paid session musicians to make real music and then filled these playlists with hundreds of artists that weren't actually real. This way they get to keep...
I swear I didn't see this video. I mean, the video just came out, bro. I literally said at the beginning of this video, like, there are... oh my gosh, boy, I swear, man.
All the profit. By 2023, over 100 official Spotify playlists were composed entirely of fake songs. This includes some of the biggest playlists on the entire platform, which even you might be listening to. Deep Focus, for instance, with almost 5 million saves, is more than 90% made up of fake songs. I'm sure you can see where this is going. With the rise of AI music, it wouldn't be surprising if they've used AI to generate songs for these playlists. Not just that, but with the way a lot of these playlists work, it makes it out so that AI artists could easily get their songs onto these playlists as well. However, Spotify has recently claimed that they're trying to crack down on AI, likely because of the backlash. In a blog post, they said, AI can be used by bad actors and content farms to confuse or deceive listeners, push slop into the ecosystem, and interfere with authentic
they do that
artists
in every
working
single
to build
industry
their
now.
careers. If they are truly serious about guarding against AI, good on them, but for some reason I feel like that's not the case. I mean, just recently I was listening to Spotify and it auto-played me an AI band. Deezer seems to be the only streaming service that has an AI advisory, but I don't know if anyone really uses
AI
Deezer,
advisory.
so we need these other services to get on top of it. Regardless, even if you don't use Spotify, there might be other ways AI has started to get into your playlists. Like, remember the Reddit guy who said he was listening to an AI mix on accident? Well, there are actually a ton of channels on YouTube that put together mixes that are entirely made of AI. Like this one that I found called Soul Space. All of these mixes are generated by AI. There are a bunch of these other mix channels on YouTube, some of which have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and millions of views. Utopic Dreamer is another huge example of this on YouTube. It's a page that is posting 4 or more hour-long mixes almost every single day, which is just damn near impossible to do unless they are using AI to generate them. The other thing that helps me confirm the use of AI is the fact that there are no timestamps in any of these videos, because they couldn't tell you what half the actual songs are. And despite this page being clearly AI generated, it is still very successful. Also, if you don't believe me that this page is AI, it has a Deezer artist page linked with the same name, and all of the music is flagged. Apparently, this is such a common problem in the YouTube mix community that they are creating block lists and using plugins to block these channels. And just look at how many channels they have on this block list. It is crazy. I have seen a bunch of discussion about this on Reddit, and honestly, it's crazy how many different sub-communities in music that AI has grabbed a hold of. But AI music has also been creeping into the mainstream as well. Not only could AI be slipping into your playlist or your mixes, but there's also a chance that big artists are using it too. Probably the best example I can think of right now is this song called
Mr.
I
Fly,
Run
what's
by
up,
Haven
bro?
that has recently been going viral on TikTok.
Coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath.
Now, I can't speak for the instrumental, but
crazy.
there was so much controversy around the vocals because it sounded very similar to an artist named Georgia Smith. Haven did admit to using AI to alter their vocals, but they said they didn't replicate her voice. They actually also used Suno, which is interesting. Regardless, Georgia Smith's record label issued a bunch of takedowns for this song because they believed that the vocals were AI generated meant to replicate her voice. And this actually resulted in it being withheld from the Billboard charts because of the controversy. Of course, Timbaland is the biggest culprit of this, with him, like I said, partnering with Suno and launching his own AI entertainment company. Ironically, he claimed that real music is too bland and boring, and that AI music...
I ain't mad at him, but I mean, that's also his push. That's also the narrative that he has to make to generate him money with his AI artist. Duh. Right? Duh. Like, for instance, I stand with people, actual fucking people, who's going through things like any person would be. So I'm going to empathize more with that. I'm going to speak more of the people's sentiments than, these like hyperbole bullshit remarks that like just fly back and forth. No. I'm speaking on shit that my community and I has spoken about, are going through. And that shit will never die. It's quote unquote, well, I'm gonna say this. It's not very it's not checked up on as much right now, but that's okay. Just because you're not getting the looks right now doesn't mean that what you're doing is incorrect or you're doing it properly. See?
Music is the only music with a soul, which is just a ridiculous statement. His artist taught...
And then coming from Timbaland, my goodness. But look, I don't blame him though. I don't blame him, brother. Get your money, I get. You know what I'm saying? Get your money. Whatever business ventures he got thereafter, hey, I don't blame him. But a lot of things can work without you shunning other shit down. You feel what I'm saying, y'all?
Has been releasing singles, but because of how big of a deal this is, she's been getting a lot of...
But that's the art of just baiting people and wrapping people with a rope with their emotions. That's what that's about. That's what that's about right there. Just wrapping them. Which is baiting. Bro, I heard a term today. I mean, it's the same as rage baiting, but they called it like emotional baiting. Emotion baiting. Bro, what? Oh my gosh. That might be worse than calling somebody a YN. Emotion baiting?
hate.
I got it straight out the basement. I flip my check off a day shift.
Another huge artist, possibly one of the biggest artists ever, who's been criticized for using AI is Kanye West. It was actually confirmed that he used a bunch of AI vocals on his album Vultures 2, and he possibly even used AI for more. Specifically, he did it on the songs Field Trip, Sky City, Can You Be, Forever, and 530. On those songs, Kanye used AI vocals.
Can't even have a corona, shit is getting wild. Running around without a face mask like I'm Jim Brown.
Pretty much everything following this album has also allegedly used AI as well. However, I feel like no one really cares to listen to his new stuff from what I've seen, and I think Vultures 2 was his last big album. Tragically, there were even a bunch of AI accusations toward Playboi Carti on his latest album, although as far as I'm aware, none of these are substantiated. And one of the funniest cases of a bigger artist using AI is when Baby Chief Do It actually admitted to using ChatGPT for his lyrics.
I've been using that shit to write my lyrics, real shit.
Word, ChatGPT?
Hell yeah, that shit worked. Well, what I did was I wrote down 4 bars, and I said, write me a song. And then it said, give me a start me out, some shit like that. And bro, I started him off, whatever the fuck it is. That shit, it wrote some shit. I never actually used AI before, like, until then.
What made you want to do it? Like, what, you just curious?
I had posted on my notes one night, I was bored as hell. And I was like, who wanna write my next song? And then this girl had replied to him, like, I would've just used ChatGPT. So I downloaded that shit. Oh, bro, and that shit is cold.
Yeah.
That shit's scary though. Like that, all that AI shit.
To be fair, this was out of context and it kind of went viral because of that. He actually said he was just playing around with it. As far as I'm aware, I don't think he's actually used AI to generate any of the lyrics in his actual songs. But regardless, with everything we know about big artists dabbling in AI, who's to say there aren't other ones? I don't know. I'm sure there's people much smarter than me that would have caught it by now, but who knows? And there is one last place that I've seen AI music thriving, and that is in the gutter of the internet. That's right, I'm talking about short form content. I don't know how else to describe this, but so many of the sounds I hear on TikTok or Instagram Reels are AI songs singing goofy things, like this one.
My collar's blue and my neck is red.
It's kind of like the AI remixes of songs where they have rappers like Eminem singing their songs as if it were a 50s soul song. But with these songs, you have to intentionally seek these out and listen to them. Whereas the TikTok songs are just kind of forced on you. And in my opinion, it sort of normalizes them. Strangely enough, a bunch of songs that are tributes to Charlie Kirk have gone viral, with the most recent one being called We Are Charlie Kirk. But I haven't seen too many people taking these that seriously. However, I have seen people talking about this song called How Dare They for Charlie by an AI artist named Diesel pretty serious.
How dare they steal the breath from a faithful man?
I mean, the comments are full of people pouring their hearts out as if this isn't just a garbage AI song. And I'm gonna guess it's a lot of old people again assuming that it's real. Diesel in particular is like the epitome of AI slop, except it's a political grifting AI slop artist, which is fascinating. But I guess that target audience isn't quite privy to the AI stuff yet. Regardless, I don't think that these AI songs that are becoming sounds on short form platforms are the biggest issue as of yet, because for the most part, they're just meme songs, you know, they're not taken too seriously. But I do think it helps in normalizing the use of AI music, and it kind of gets us conditioned and used to hearing it, if you get what I mean. It still is possible you have been able to avoid having to hear AI music. I know I don't come across it.
I don't want to hear no more. This shit's exhausting. Shout out Maddie Ballsack.